All right, guys, I got back started loading this morning. I was loading some last night. And anyway, 38 special wad cutters. I got the Hornady dies for them. And the dies are working fine. And I got another lead powder trickler for doing my rifle and pistol. That way I can lead the other one with my shot shell powder in it, or powders. But anyway, I'm using 5.72 Winchester powder, ball powder for these wad cutter loads from a 38 special. And I found the load data and had some 5.72 powder around. And I said, hey, why don't I use that? I don't use it for shot shell reloading a whole lot. And I just use that right now for my pistol applications. But anyway, I took a Lee powder dropper RCBS funnel, and I can just put my casing under there and drop. And I got the powder trickler there in case I get an under powder charge. I can use that powder trickler to drop my charges. So I'm gonna expand. And something I started doing is after I expand, I drop it upside down. There's no chance of getting a double charge. And anyway, I'm gonna seat the bullet. Crimp it. And I always twist around the mouth, because you get a little shaving sometimes, not much, just a very fine amount, you know, when you seat the bullet. And there you go. With a factory crimp, no chance of that bullet walking out, which these bullets don't usually walk out. These are the Hornady 148 grain wad cutters, hollow base wad cutters. And on the sides are corrugated molded, or they might be compressed formed, but they've already have a Alox lubricant coated, so you don't have to coat these in Alox. They're already coated, you know, got a lubricant on the outside for seating, so you don't have to do that. And people get good reviews on them, and they've been loading them for decades and decades and decades. And, well, that one fell in the floor. I'll get it later. Some of the old guys, old timers, if you can see that, I loaded about 10 of them upside down, like that, just to try out, because some of the old timers do that. And that's how they're designed, but to load. But there's different companies that make these bullets, and some of them are copper coated or something. Anyway, I might try to see if them things do a range test, see how these Hornadays expand. And they might not expand much. The other companies that copper coat their types and load them backwards for a hollow point effect didn't expand much, but they tumbled a lot in gel. But we'll see if they expand any with the Hornady bullets. They're not copper coated. They're more or less, they call them a frontier load, because they've been doing these wad cutters for so long in the reloading world. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today. And I have a few for any reloaders that have probably done this, and it's probably everybody has at one time or another. My lead dipper or my powder dropper, I turned the bottle off when I walked away from the table last night, and I dropped a few powder charges when I first started checking, and dropped the full powder charge, perfect powder charges. Then once I got to running ammo, I dropped a few light, and I was like, what's going on? And I said I turned my bottle off last night. So I turned my bottle back on. I had to recheck my powder charges and make sure they were all weighing like they're supposed to, and get back to reloading. And I ended up loading a few shells or a few casings with light powder charges or next to no powder charges, because I had cut my bottle off last night and started. But that's one thing I've done before, and I've done it again this morning, and I'm not turning my bottles off anymore. I learned a lesson. Probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I took out 14 bullets that I had loaded because I was scared of them, and I'm going to chunk them. I might pull the bullets out, use my bullet puller if I can get them crimped bullets out like that. I doubt it, but anyway, probably just chunk them. That ends this video. Have a good day, y'all.